Oh, hey guys! Oh, I should just do the whole "Hey America, didn't see you there." Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I am one of your hosts, Decon, here with a very fabulous
SOS.
and with a very chaotic
Haywire.
Haywire. And today we are here to present a. I don't even know what the hell the story is, so I'm just gonna go with it. So, but anyways, I wanted to talk really quick about. So the last episode you guys did was on not directly the last, the one about Men in Black. Um,
Mm,
that to me was just like
yeah.
it's so interesting, so crazy. I mean, I have my theories on what the Men in Black are. Some people say they're robots or aliens or government agents. I like to think this might be really. This is really going to highlight how stupid I am. This is my stupidity, but I like to think that when you're new in the CIA, it's kind of like a hazing ritual. Like, oh, somebody called about UFOs. You know the drill. You're the new guy here. Shave off the eyebrows, put on the lipstick, get the stupid wig on, and go talk to a hillbilly. He's like, oh, but I don't want to. It's like, dude, if you want to be part of the CIA, you know that this is the initiation. So have at it. You know,
I like it.
it's I don't know. It's dumb, but in all seriousness, like actually, I do believe that. But to make it more fun, I don't like the fact that people think that it's weird that in some of the stories somebody handed them Jello. You've heard of that? Like they give them a pen and they'll like analyze the pen and they're like, ooh. Or they'll give them Jello. There's like a story where somebody gave them Jello and they looked at it and they drank it or tried to drink it and they were confused by Jello. When I was a kid, uh,
What's happening?
that's haywire, going haywire.
It's haywire.
Uh, so when I was a kid, I used to buy in El Salvador for an American quarter. You can get two sodas and a little bag filled with Jello and chips. So I used to actually bite the tip off the little bag with Jello and I would drink it. So the fact that people made fun of the Men in Black, like fuck you people, that's normal. Don't make fun of the Men in Black for trying to. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. For trying to drink the Jello, you know. That's all I wanted to say. There's no point to my stories. I'm sorry. Go continue.
Well, I'm having a hard time following you tonight there, Decon.
No,
So,
the point is
actually,
it's the point is that do I believe in the Men in Black? Yes, to a point, but I don't believe they're aliens or cyborgs. I mean, if they were aliens, do your damn research. Like, why would you send the most obvious people if they're aliens to your house? Especially when one of them said, "Running low on energy, must go." Like, come on, dude. Nobody talks like that. Get your shit together. Say you have
right.
diarrhea. Like, oh, he's running low on fuel. Quickly, hit the panic button. Dude, I have diarrhea. And he gets up and he leaves. And people be like, oh, he's got diarrhea. He's got to go.
I don't know. I have no idea if they're human or not. I don't know. The whole Men in Black thing is just kind of odd to me, but whatever. I'm anyway. So, what do you think, Haywire?
For the Men in Black, I don't know. Like, because a while ago I would have said, like, it would have been someone deeper in the CIA or FBI, but we just did, like, the government's announced that there's aliens, so I don't know what to believe at this point.
Right. Yeah. It's odd. I don't know.
It's the hazing ritual, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Shave off the eyebrows. Go out there. Go get them, boy.
So, Decon and Haywire, do you believe in coincidences?
No such thing.
Yes.
You do.
I do.
And you don't. Okay. I don't. I'm with you, Haywire. I don't believe in them. I think that...
this is the end of this episode.
Yeah, well, you might after this story, because this is a bonker story. So, we're talking murder tonight, just so you know. So this is the warning out there that if you don't want to listen to a murder story, don't listen to this one. If you have kids in the room, don't have them listen to it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a disclaimer. If you guys are like sensitive to murder or anything like that, just shut this off. Go watch, old reruns of Baywatch, you pervert, and and then move on.
Because this one is murder. We're actually talking about a couple of murders. But what we're talking about are two murders 160 years apart
Ooh.
that are pretty much identical. And we're going to get into this and you're going to see why. Coincidence? I don't know. We're talking about not only the same location that the killings happened, but both women's death occurred on the same day, 160 years apart. Both victims were unmarried. Both were aged 20. Both have been left for dead. Both were returning from dances. Both were last seen on the same date. And the men in charge, but acquitted for murder, 100, all those years apart, had the same surname.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So I don't know.
Now it looks.
That's weird to me.
Now it looks stupid.
That's far too much.
It's bizarre, isn't it? It's like a loop in time. You got to wonder, like in 160 years, will it happen again? You know what I mean?
I hope so.
From the last one. You hope so. Uh-oh. I don't know where you went, Haywire.
That's her trope. She's just Haywire. We don't know what's going to happen with her.
Yeah, it's just how it happens. Please don't mind me.
Holy crap. Well, whoa. You see in red and green lights and blue light.
It's probably
are those aliens?
It's probably the Men in Black.
I'm seeing the weird lights out there, but I don't see you. Hey, there you are. That was weird. Now I can't hear you. You were on mute.
Just ignore me. Don't worry about it.
I heard her.
Just look the other way.
She's in her car because your canines are going batty
Maybe
tonight.
there's wind to go outside or something, but
don't say that.
All right, let's get into this. So Mary Ashford is a 20-year-old woman living in Sutton, Coldfield, England. Okay. She worked as a servant and a housekeeper to her uncle, which was pretty common. This is 1817.
Okay.
She disappeared one night at a party on May 26, 1817. She was at a public house, so a bar, at a party. And it was known as the Taburn House.
Ooh. That's a cool
Prior
name.
to the party, she meets up with her friend Mary, and Mary let her borrow some party clothes because, as I read, Mary didn't. She met up with her friend Hannah. Mary didn't have a lot of money. I mean, she's working as basically a maid to her uncle. So
yeah.
Hannah had more money. She was a little more well off. She had some party clothes, so she let Mary borrow some. And Mary went over to Hannah's house. They changed into the party clothes and went over to the public house. She left the party accompanied by her friends Abraham Thornton and her friend Hannah.
What a name!
What?
Abraham Thornton?
Hannah? Oh, Thornton. Yeah.
Jeez. You might as well have a top hat, a stovepipe hat, a long mustache. And it's like, what does he do for a living?
Did.
What does he do for a living? Oh, that dude, he ties women to railroad tracks and then just waits with his cape.
And he has one of those long, cigarette holder things.
And he goes, man.
So anyway, Hannah, the three of them leave the party together, and then as they're walking, Hannah peels off and goes to her house because they come to her place first. And so everything is hunky-dory. Nobody seems to have any problems at this point. Abraham was the son of a builder of the Castle Bromwich.
Ooh.
Yeah. So people described him as heavyset, but and arranging, people have these different descriptions of this guy, from pleasant to repulsive, depending on
Depending if he's been drinking or not.
Right. So it's kind of interesting that has varied so much. When he met Mary at the party, he was attentive. She seemed to enjoy his company. So he's walking her home, and that was common, right?
Yeah.
Men walked women home back then, and he was known a little bit as a womanizer, but he did make a statement at the party that he wanted to go after Mary. So,
That's
I'm
his,
like, anyway,
that's his
she
move.
won't tie for it. That's what he said to a buddy of his. I'm like, okay.
What's funny is if he announced it and like if it doesn't work, he just picks a different girl. Actually, what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's that gal over there.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's
I wasn't pointing at you. I was pointing at the girl behind you. You will not.
I don't know what's
girl
wrong with you.
I'm gonna point at a guy.
So it's 11 p.m. Hannah's had enough of the party. They're walking home, and then she leaves Mary alone with Abraham, but she feels like everything's going to be okay. About 2:45 in the morning, Hannah was awakened by Mary at this point. So Mary has gone back to Hannah's house, and she's alone. And she tells Hannah that she needs to change back out of her clothes, the party clothes, and get back into her clothes. So that's fine. And so she changed and she left, stating that she needed to be at her uncle's house before he woke up. And then a man outside of the house, as she leaves the house, is the last person who sees her alive.
Oh.
Workers at a local factory watched a man and a woman walk through like a newly harrowed field and over a hill. So, and then later they see a man walking back through the field alone. This location is called Pipe Hayes Park. And Mary was found drowned in a pit of water. So, but it not even really like a lake, but it sounded like it was more of just a rushing of water.
Yeah, or an irrigation of, right?
Yeah. There was very little evidence at the crime scene, but again, this is 1817.
Yeah, this is 1870s. So. Over there, like, if you're covered in blood and then they're like, did you do it? And you're like, no. They're like, well, I guess it wasn't him. Let's ask the next person.
I guess it wasn't him.
Let's ask the Mexican.
Later, police examined the footprints and found 2 tracks over the hill, a man and a woman's, and then 1 track coming back, just like the guys at the factory said. Police questioned Mary's friends and learned that Abraham was the last person seen with Mary. Okay. So they went to his home and questioned him. Assistant Constable Thomas Dales from Birmingham interrogated Thornton and soon arrested him. But Dales, being the crack detective that he was, didn't keep any notes and was later not able to remember what Abraham said to him under the interrogation.
That would definitely be me as a detective. I'd be like so focused on other shit. Like back then, people died of so many diseases. Like I would be too busy trying to pick a disease for me to, like I'd be like, what seems like a fun disease? And I'd be like, what? I'd be like alcoholism. But damn, it's so shitty because back then, I mean, you had no forensics. You had like to prosecute somebody, you either had to have several people present or somebody that everyone in the town trusted. Like you can have somebody witness because again, back then, just like on the show, they'll give you nicknames, and people like based on what your character is. Like that guy's Jim the Liar. And Jim the Liar, he could have been there and he watched the whole damn thing and he's like, yeah, this is what happened. They took her and he's like, who said it? Oh, Jim the Liar? Oh, forget this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, this seems to be a theme, like where we're having, like we covered the Yuba County 5, and they also conveniently forgot to take a lot of notes. There's a theme running here.
Yeah, exactly.
The female
Yeah, small
Mhm.
town, no matter where it is in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
You live in a
So
small town, shame on you.
Abraham was then examined by magistrate William Bedford, who ordered him to be searched. The search revealed that Thornton was wearing underclothing with bloodstains.
Interesting. Isn't it right,
It
Hate?
sure
And
will be interesting.
Yeah, just like, stay tuned, folks.
yeah, Thornton admitted having intimate relations, so we don't get pinged by YouTube, with Ashford the previous night. Okay, so I listen to a lot of murder podcasts out there, right? And YouTube is dinging people who say the R word or the SA word.
What do they say? What's the word?
I'm not saying it. Okay, so they removed his shoes, and the factory workers compared them with footprints in the field. So that I don't get that. The
They're
factory
short-staffed.
workers compared him. Like, why didn't? So I don't.
Hey, you guys over there? You guys on break? Yeah, it's my break.
Police force.
Get over here.
Okay, and then they had the factory workers at the trial, and they testified that the shoes matched what they saw. But during a factory,
Yeah, they're inside a factory.
At night, watching this couple walk through the field, they say, "Yeah, that's the shoes."
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Anyway,
it's dumb. That's even worse than like interviewing somebody from Chicago or Jersey, like on what happened on a crime scene.
So
Yeah,
they testified in the trial that they matched. A post-mortem examination revealed that Ashford died from drowning, and the only marks on her body were 2 lacerations in the genital area. Okay. The examination concluded that she had not had sex prior to this.
What?
So I don't understand how they would figure that out either.
They figure they probably asked.
It's like how
they asked her mom.
Maybe I don't get that. Anyway, we're not going into the whole
not my little girl. She is a delicate flower. You know, she's not over there. She's not over there hoeing around at the hoedown.
The whole investigation just sounds absolutely so screwed up. An inquest was held on May 30th, 1817, where it ended with Abraham Thornton being charged with willful murder. On August 8, 1817, the trial was to take place. At 8 a.m., people rushed to fill every available seat because, I mean, what else is going on over there, right?
Yeah, it's like they're gonna hang somebody.
Yeah, and public benches remained full throughout the one day trial. Because of the nature of the evidence, women were not permitted to witness the trial.
I wouldn't allow them to either.
Oh God. The prosecution stated that Abraham attempted to seduce Mary, and failing, he laid in wait for her near the pit of water, where he then R-word her and then drowned her in the pit of water. But the laying in wait does not match the theory that they walked through the field together.
They probably asked like a bunch of drunk people, you know, because
I don't know what's happening here. Anyway, the prosecution questioned Constable Dales, the genius who didn't keep any notes, who told the jury that Thornton admitted to having sex with Ashford before he was searched, and that that's why he had blood on his clothing. Anyway, the surgeon who conducted the postmortem testified as to its results and stated that except for the lacerations, there were no signs of violence on Mary's person, and that those cuts could have been caused by other things. I don't know.
I don't believe that he engaged in it. He's like that guy at the party that tries to hit on a girl and he gets shot down, and the next day he tells his story like, "Oh yeah, we did it, bro." The back of the pickup truck. It's like, really? I thought that you like I did it, bro. So it's probably the same shit.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, there were
Nothing.
through it's 11 witnesses. The defense established an alibi for Thornton. The milkman, William Jennings, testified he saw Thornton at 4:30 in the morning walking leisurely by the farm of Mr. John Holden, where Jennings went to buy milk. The Holden farm was 2.25 miles from the pit, depending on the path taken. At about 4:50 a.m., Thornton was seen at the Castle Bromwick by gamekeeper John Hayden. Thornton told Hayden that he was with a woman much of the night, and after the two spent about 15 minutes conversing, Thornton went on towards his father's house. The defense contended that for Thornton to have murdered Ashford, he would have had to chase her down, the R word, her, kill her, and then travel 3 miles all in 11 minutes.
So crazy.
So they're trying to do this timeline thing, right? So Abraham, based on all that, Abraham was found not guilty.
Oh, man.
So he was acquitted.
Damn.
All right.
I would love to travel back in time. Well, actually, I wouldn't last long because of my ethnicity. But the point is that I would like to just watch people interact and like just watch their boring lives and how they speak to each other. You know what I mean?
Boring.
Like just like
So
it's a little boring. The milkman, like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna go impregnate the lady of the house, and then what else?
If you know people, you can do whatever the F you want. But like, as long as you got friends that'll testify where you were, give you a free alibi.
Yeah, that's how I live my life.
So an appeal was lodged by the prosecution appeals, which is in England, which is interesting. They don't have double jeopardy over there. In the U.S. Constitution, we do, right? If you're tried for murder and found and acquitted, you cannot be tried for that murder again, even if you admit it. If you've been tried and you are found acquitted, that's it. You're done for murder.
I love this country.
But in England, they appeal it. The prosecution appeals it, takes them back to court, and he argues that Abraham was given a pro forma arraignment on the murder charge to which he pleaded he was acquitted previously. I mean, come on. So they said, okay, case is over. So even after they take him back the second time. So, I mean,
I would admit to anything. You know,
right.
Yeah, but it's so interesting how, I mean, when we look down at these kind of cases, I mean, we really begin to realize that England sucks.
You know, so you just pissed off all of our English viewers. I mean,
I'm trying to alienate the like only people in Idaho listen. We'll be like, we have the best potatoes.
All right, so now let's meet Barbara Forrest. Barbara was a nurse and she worked in a church. She was 20 years old. Her parents describe her as a wonderful girl.
Wait.
She was.
Is this 100 and something years later, or is this like? Oh, okay. We time travel.
Yeah.
Everybody hop on the magic school bus.
And... 1974. This is 1974.
How cool would that be if they had like a magic school bus for murder? You know, like hop on the magic school bus and they travel back in time to like a famous murder.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'd watch that. Hey, come on. Why am I here?
Her parents described her as a wonderful girl, and she was devoutly religious. She was celebrating the Maybank holiday Monday with her boyfriend and was visiting pubs in Handsworth and Birmingham City Center with her boyfriend. Barbara's boyfriend escorted her to Colmore Circus bus stop before catching a bus home to Moseley. So they lived two different areas. He was the last person to see her alive. No one on the bus remembered seeing her at night, so she never gets on the bus.
Oh.
So he leaves her at the bus stop, and then he goes his way. Her semi-naked body was discovered days later on June 4th, 1974, just 500 yards from her home on the edge of where? Pipe Hayes Park.
That damn cursed place.
Yes, that place.
I was going to go roll around in that marsh, but you know what? I'm not going to do it.
No, I just wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. So she was buried beneath shrubbery, and she was in a shallow ditch. She bears a striking resemblance also to Mary Ashford.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, she had been assaulted and strangled. Barbara had also gone to a friend's house to change clothing prior to going out. Both women were killed on the same date, about the same time in early morning. Stranger still, days before each victim was murdered, they made prophetic remarks. So they had said they thought they were going to die. Both girls did.
Well, back then, I mean, what year was this? The 1970s?
1974.
1974. I mean, back then, if you would leave the house to a party, you were bound to be dead. I mean, so everybody, I would say that. You know, like we are not coming back alive. We're gonna party hard and.
The week before Mary Ashford was murdered, she told Hannah's mother that she had bad feelings about the week to come, but was unable to elaborate on the unfounded sense of dread. And 10 days before Barbara was murdered, she told a colleague at work of a strange premonition of her death.
Damn, but you know what? Now I just realized that by the end of this episode, I'm gonna look like a jackass.
So Barbara's words said, "This is going to be my unlucky month. I just know it." So, I mean, that's just,
well,
you know,
maybe she had like a bad period or something.
Good grief. So eventually a suspect was identified in Barbara's murder, and his name was Michael Thornton.
Oh, motherfucker. Damn it.
I know. And he was charged with her murder. There was blood found on his trousers. His mother gave him a false alibi, and he went to court and was acquitted.
Was acquitted. Damn. His mom gave a false alibi. My mom wouldn't do that for me. She'd fucking say I'm guilty, even though I hung out with her all night. They're like, oh, who was? Yeah, he did it. He's your guy.
So I don't know. Did Mary come back as Barbara? And did Abraham come back as William?
She shot him down so hard that he came back just to murder the person she came back as. She must have embarrassed him at that damn party. You know, like, dude, you smell like onions. You know? And he's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I found that story just absolutely fascinating that you have that loop.
Yeah.
With the same names too. I mean, Thornton as the murderer.
But then again, I mean, if your last name is Thornton, you're bound to be an asshole.
It's like either timelines are overlapping, right? Or this Thornton family has made some deal with a demon, and every 157 years, in order to maintain something, they gotta kill this person in the same park. Like, I've watched Supernatural enough to know this is definitely the route that's happening.
Yeah. All right. Okay, a couple things. First of all, that show sucks. Okay.
Not friends anymore.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was a shout out to Little Pebbles. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like, damn, I'm trying to find a coincidence in this, but the only thing I could think of is like, yeah, if your last name is Thornton, you're like such a piece of shit. You're bound to murder somebody.
A whole bunch of coincidences in this. Both girls go to their friend's house to change clothes prior to a party. I mean, you know, they get murdered in the same park. Come on now, Decon.
I'm drunk. I don't know.
Oh,
What
jeez.
do you think over there, Chloe?
Oh, God.
Oh
That's
fuck
that
no.
damn doll of
Mm-mm.
his.
You want me?
No.
No? Jeez. All right. I guess we're not.
I can't.
We're not doing that. But it's
Listen,
but it's
that's
so
it, man.
it's so interesting how far we. All right, will you girls stop it? I'm trying to be serious here for 1 minute, and your girls are giggling, and it's throwing me off. See,
Oh, I'm
see,
glad she left. Okay,
yeah,
she's
Haywire
back.
laughed because she's like, yeah, forget her. No, but I mean, like, how far we've come with like forensics and shit. You know, like it used to be like so and so said this, and you know what I like. They were even doing that. When did forensics actually really come into play? What would you say, like 1985, 1986?
You mean just? Oh no, I
Like with
think it was a lot. It was in the late 1800s. They started really looking for stuff. I mean, they were lifting fingerprints and doing that stuff in the 1800s, but they didn't have a lot of ways to compare them. I mean,
but
they could if they had if they
I
took your fingerprint, they could compare it. You know what I mean?
yeah, but a
They
lot
just
of that
obviously
I imagine that the way they look at fingerprints is they look at it and they try to memorize it. By the time they walked over, they'd be like, "What did it look like?" I I saw the milkman and I realized that my kid looks exactly like him.
the thing is with yeah shit. The thing is that people are notoriously terrible witnesses.
Yes, and that's another.
Terrible.
Yeah, there was a study, I mean, conducted in the 1950s, 1960s, and 1990s when it came to witness testimony, and then how much of that was um, all it takes is for somebody to basically throw in a new fact that had nothing, well, a fact, and it had nothing to do with what you witnessed, and then your brain begins to slowly work that in. I mean, there was a famous case in 1965, I believe, um, with a man who developed a Reed method for interrogation, and
Hmm.
well, that guy was fucking awful. I mean, well, that guy incarcerated a lot of people because he was never looking for the truth. He was just looking for a confession of any kind. So this guy was famous for not just the interrogation methods, but when questioning people, he would say something like, "You were wearing an orange shirt, weren't you?" You know, and then the person would be like, "Holy shit, you know, was I wearing?" And then that's what they hear, and then all he has to do is to say that with two or three people, and then those people begin to look back and be like, "Holy shit, I think he was wearing an orange shirt." I mean, so when it came to a witness testimony, I think that that number was like 40% of it was unreliable because people's memory is very unreliable, and it's also very open to suggestion. That's how people like mentalists are able to give people like false readings because all you need to do is just to put that tiny little seed, you know, of doubt or that tiny little seed of confirmation, and then you know you got somebody that's agreeing with you. So yeah, again, like witness them. You know, I forgot where I was going with that point. I'm kind of buzzed, but I hate everybody. I
Forensic.
no, but the point that I was the point I was trying to make is that with forensics, I mean, with witness testimony, like it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people end up getting off, you know, when it comes to these kind of cases because witnesses are not reliable, you know.
Yeah, the only thing it sounded like the witnesses in Abraham's trial actually knew him. So if they knew him, then they could say, "Yeah, I saw him,
Yeah,
over
but
here, over there."
and then again, I
And
mean, you had people saying shit like, you know, he was an amazing guy, and then other people were like, he was repulsive, you know, and obviously the people that were saying that he was an amazing guy was people that partied with him, and the people that were saying that he was repulsive was probably his family.
yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's kind of interesting to have such a spread of, uh,
Oh,
Of course, I guess people would say that about me too, because I can be hell on wheels and then I can be really nice.
I'm just an
So,
idiot. But with the whole thing with like a coincidence, I mean, geez, like that. Okay, so when we look at something like World War I and how World War I occurred, you know, with it's like if you actually look at the paperwork and read the books on how World War One began with the assassination of that czar, a lot of it is like either you believe in fate or you believe in coincidences, because here you have an assassination. I'm sorry, guys, for the history lesson. Here you have like an assassination ploy. You have 6 assassins. They each are going to kill. They each have mapped out the czar's route on his parade, and they have different assassins. You each have a task. If this fails, this is what's going to happen. If this fails, this is what we're going to do. We have the map, whatever the hell it is. So you have the first guy come up, throws a grenade at the czar as he's coming in with the czar and the czarina, and they take off. It doesn't explode, it doesn't blow up, it fails. So the takes off, and the guy that's the driver forgets the safety route, and he's just going, zooming in outside of traffic. The guys believe they lose him. Like, damn it, we lost him. We lost him in the crowd. We lost him in the parade. We lost him in everything. One of the assassins that was late to the assassination because he was an idiot. He was known as somebody that was unreliable when it came to anything. He's late. He's over there saying like, damn, I'm really not going to hear the end of it. So this car begins to have engine trouble, breaks down directly in front of him in the sidewalk. He looks at him, pulls out his gun, and shoots him in the head. And either you believe in fate or this was amazing coincidence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think everything lines out the way it's supposed to line out. So I don't know that I believe in coincidence.
What does supernatural
I
say,
believe
Haywire?
in fate. I don't think it's coincidence. I think there might be like 10 different ways that you can get there, but if it's meant to happen, if it's supposed to be a canon event for your life, it's gonna happen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I had a moment where I'll just handle.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you have that moment there, dude.
Okay, let me just. You know what? This is not a coincidence. This was fate, and it happened. And 150 something years from now, somebody else is gonna be going to a party, have a bad feeling. They're gonna pull up in their little spaceship and end up in that same park.
May 27th, 2131.
Yeah, the
Jetsons.
Jetsons.
To evacuate all the ladies out of the city for just that day.
Yeah, keep them away from douchebags at parties. It's like, okay, every woman is murdered by a douchebag. Imagine the Thornton families watching this, and then they're like, the douchebag.
They're gonna have to go in hiding. That family that year, they're gonna have to go in hiding.
You know what you did, Billy Bob. Nobody believes you were a scientist in the movie Armageddon. People confuse you for the janitor. Jeez. Oh. Anyways, guys, this was an I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. This was an excellent episode of what show is this? Nightmare Road. I was one of your hosts, Deacon, here with a very fabulous SOS and a very chaotic Haywire. And guys, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the comments. Thank you guys for following this horrible show. That you can't show your mom because she's going to think that you're mentally ill. And guess who's not going to be invited?
Might work out.
But anyways, and can you imagine everybody like showing this to their psychologist? Like, look what I watch. But again, thanks for you guys' support. You guys can buy merch. I forget the name of the damn website now, but you guys can go to our page and then look up all the stuff. It's all good stuff. I mean, it's actually horrible. I designed it myself, but it's all good stuff. You guys can look at that. You guys can like and subscribe. You guys should tell everybody you know about this show, this terrible show. But tell them anyways. And remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially if you find yourselves on Nightmare Road. So